Hello and welcome to Catalyze Music Academy. My name is Zaak Kerstetter. I'm an Ableton Certified Trainer. And for today's quick tip, I want to talk about a MIDI effect that often flies under the radar, which is the expression control. Now, this is a Max for Live device that's been around for a long time, and it has only fairly recently made its way into the default set of MIDI effects. So when you go to your MIDI effects tab here, it just shows up there. So I think a lot of people don't know what it is and don't really know how cool it is and some of the fun, interesting things you can do for sound design with it. Before we dive into it, I do want to let you know that if you are enjoying the content on the channel, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. Check out the Discord, check out the Patreon, all those things. It is greatly appreciated. The expression control is a MIDI effect, a lot like the other modulators in Live. Things like the LFO or the envelope follower would allow you to basically map different parameters to, in this case, an incoming MIDI signal. MIDI signals can be interpreted in lots of different ways. So we have things like velocity, mod wheel, pitch bend, aftertouch. There's a few more on here: keyboard tracking, MPE control, random control, a bunch of really cool stuff in here. So for example, if I wanted to velocity map the oscillator 1 position on my wavetable, I hit the map button right here, I click right here, and now each time I hit a different note, or each time I play a different velocity, it's gonna be a different place there, which is cool. But I want to focus on specifically the incremental setting right here, which I've only recently started to use a little more, and I think it's actually really cool. The way the incremental setting works is that each time you play a new MIDI note, it's going to move the value of the parameter it's mapped to up by 1. So if I hit the map button here, and once again I map it to the wavetable position on my wavetable, and that's all I have really going on. I have the brutal metal wavetable here with a little bit of unison, but that's it. So now each time I play a different note, it's moving up through my wavetable by 1, which, unless I'm playing lots of notes really fast, is not super interesting. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to change the amount to be a larger number. So now each time I play a new MIDI note, it's going to move the value of my wavetable up by 11. And if I hold down a note, it just sustains there. So each time I play a new note, I basically get a new position on my wavetable based off the amount that's set right here. We can also change the minimum and maximum range. So if you don't want to go all the way up or all the way down, you can adjust that. And another really cool thing that they've added here is the rise and fall. So the rise will essentially add a little bit of envelope. It'll take a certain amount of time to get from one value to the next. So if I set an amount of like 22 and a rise of 78 milliseconds, each time I play a new note, it smoothly transitions from one value to the next, which I think sounds pretty cool in this situation. On top of that, the fall will change when you reset. So once I hit the top of here, you're going to notice it resets instantly. So the fall will be where we reset. That way, if you come down, you can have a different amount of time here, or same amount of time, or whatever you want. Like that. That's pretty cool. A lot of fun, really cool creative potential here. A lot of fun sound design you can do. And then, of course, you can always mix and match this with your other expression controls to create something where each time you play a new MIDI note, lots of things are changing simultaneously. So, for example, one thing we could do here is I could go in and I could have multiple incremental modulators. So in this situation, I'm going to go into the effects built into Wavetable. I have a video I made about this a long time ago. They're really cool. I'm going to go to the modern setting here. And I'm going to take this fold control. I'm going to map that over here. So now, as I play through it, it's going to change the fold, and I'm going to change the amount here as well as the minimum and maximum amounts. So now each time I place a new note, I'm getting a new value here and a new value here. And I can also add in a little bit of attack and release, and I can make these different times, same time, get creative with it. So each time I play a new note, I'm getting new values that are not totally random. They still kind of sound kind of similar. They still kind of fit in the same way, but they also allow me to create different sounds with it right off the bat with very little effort. And as you know, if you've been watching the channel, sound design makes cool sounds with very little work. That's what I'm all about. And if I want to get a little more fancy with this, maybe I'll also add in keyboard tracking. So each new MIDI note will change the position of a parameter, and I'll map that over here to the warp control. And maybe we'll change the minimum and maximum values, give it a little bit of time. So each time I play a new note, get different sounds out of it. And these sound pretty good on lots of different wavetables. So I can just scroll through different wavetables, see what happens. So you can play with the wavetables, see if you find one you like, do a bunch of cool stuff with it, change your mappings, change the minimum and maximum amounts, change the timing here, see what happens. And like I said, I think it's a cool way to make some cool, interesting sounds and not really put a lot of thought into it. And then start writing your bass line with lots of diversity and maybe a little hint of randomness in there as well. So try it for yourself. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. And as always, thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you again in another video.